What up, YouTube? It's Misery Hates Company, and today we are looking at the fastest way to rank up in Call of Duty Mobile. Let's jump right into it because I think this video is going to help a lot of you. All right, so first things first, the first thing that I would recommend is knowing that it doesn't matter what you play. You could play squads, duos, or solos, and they all give you the same experience. There's actually no reason to play one over the other. It's obviously personal preference. My recommendation is if you're trying to rank up fast, is to go into solos um, and just play it safe and follow some of the rest of these tips and tricks. Now, the other thing I would recommend is if you are going to play with friends, just know that you're going to probably be playing against other squads that are full as well. So there's a good chance that you could, die to a full squad compared to a solo match where, it's 1v1s and a lot of bots. The second tip I have for you guys is actually knowing that first person view and third person view both have their own lobbies. Now, I'm not trying to say one is easier than the other. I'll leave that up to you guys. But I will say at lower ranks, I personally prefer first person in general. But first person has a lot of bots. And it's actually kind of frustrating when you want to play against other players and you have to get to like legendary or some of those higher ranks just to even try to play against some of these other real players. But that is a 100% way of helping you level up faster, is knowing that if you're getting a lot of real people and you're trying to get more bots, switch to the other one. So if you're getting a lot of real people in solos, first person view, and you want to try to get more bots, try third person and flip back and forth as much as needed. All right, guys, now the third tip I have for you to level up faster in Battle Royale for Call of Duty Mobile is to not land in the middle of the map. Don't land at firing range. Don't land at construction site or all these other hot drops. Or in this game that I'm showing you right now, don't land on any of the high loot areas. Land somewhere completely off the edge of the map. Now, the reason for that is twofold. Now, it's because you're going to get less players there. Now, you're going to be like, well, Misery, that seems dumb. Why would we do that? Because it doesn't actually matter how many kills you get. The kills are important, but they will come with time. And I'm going to show you that in this game that we're watching right now. So the kills will come. You don't have to force them. So don't land in a hotspot where you're going to get a whole bunch of sweats and you have a high probability of dying right off the rip because you could get really unlucky with a really bad gun. Instead, land a little bit farther off, get some loot. In this case, I have a QQ9 RUS, and I could have gotten that MX9 that was on the ground as well. But I was good with the QQ9, especially after the MX9 nerf. But anyway, so this helps me get full shields, some guns I want, and then I can actually take fights that I want to take, which you'll also see here in a little bit. Otherwise, you could land and completely get wrecked without even having a good gun. Or you could get stuck with a pistol or a shotgun and get completely murked by somebody that has an AK-47 off rip. So don't leave it up to RNG. Instead, play the game in a way that you are setting yourself up for high probability wins or high probability kills. Because there's no reason to risk it, because again, you don't need to drop 30 kills. You're gonna have your own self cap at each different tier of rank. So, and I'm sure many of you have noticed. In fact, I would bet a lot of you have noticed the higher rank you get, the less points you receive. That's actually true. So you're not doing anything wrong. You're not getting less kills than you were against all the bots. That's just how it is intended as of right now in the state of the game for Call of Duty Mobile. So you are in fact getting less kills. I'm sorry, you are in fact getting less points, even though you're getting maybe the same kills or even more in some cases. So it's not you, it's the game, I promise. So keep that in mind. Now, the fourth tip I will tell you guys is that you need to understand what weapons are good and what weapons are are ground loot. So for all of the last like 2-3 seasons, the MX9 was ground loot, at least the last two. The MX9 was ground loot, and it absolutely fried. It was easily the best gun in the game for both multiplayer and Battle Royale. So, of course, when you found the MX9 on the ground, you could pick it up and completely shred. Now, here we are in the new season, and if you pick up an MX9, you're not necessarily going to shred as much as you used to, and if you don't know that, you're going to get completely wrecked. So my personal preference for Battle Royale right now in terms of ground loot is, in terms of priority, it would be QQ9, then MX9, and then RUS, in terms of SMGs at least. AK-47, M13 are still reign supreme to medium to long range, and the M13 shreds at close range as well. And then, of course, the M4 is always a very, very solid option for you in the early, mid, or even late game. So having that gun knowledge is so critical to the success of your game that you have to know that. So the way that I recommend you doing that is, of course, subscribing to my channel. So I'm going to tell you guys, I'll give you loadouts. I will tell you and help you not have to do the research. I will give you the information you need to learn what guns are good in terms of ground loot and or loadout guns. So then in this gameplay, you can see I picked up a bot already, completely obliterated him. And now I'm getting my my chip upgrade. So I personally use the new jump pack, whatever it's called, perk class. And I love it. It's really great. It helps for one-on-one fights as well as just moving around the map. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now is I'm looking at my map and I'm prioritizing where either another vehicle is, such as a helicopter, or I'm gonna go to a loot drop, a loot crate that is dropped. Usually it's a helicopter first if I can. Now the reason you don't want to land on a helicopter is because those are very high sought after vehicles in this game, and they bring attention to you. So as soon as you can always see a helicopter, whether it's manned or not. Now I'm getting ready to find a good old little friend here. Oh, wait a minute. Now, obviously, I did not wreck this guy. That would be rude. He's not playing. He's AFK. So I thought it better to just, you know, hang out, inspect my gun, have a seat, get some coffee, hang out, see when he decides to come back, and then have a nice healthy 1v1, right? I mean, that's what all classy gamers should do, right? Oh, and now he moved in. Now it's, well, time to die. GG's, bud. Don't go AFK in the game. Never, ever a good idea. But anyway, so this is definitely something that is was a risk that I would not recommend. So again, I have a helicopter now. Now every player on the map can find out where I am specifically. The only reason I did this in this situation is that I was so far away from anything. I mean, there was no high tier loot. There were no crate boxes or loot boxes or even loadout boxes. There was literally nothing. So I go ahead and just skim the area, see what is in my area before, again, another airdrop comes into play so I can prioritize that. Now, the other tip that I would teach you, I think I'm on like tip 5 or 6, but whatever, is that pick smart fights. So I can obviously see there's 2 people here, and I decide to put myself in a high level position so that I can miss all of my snipes. Literally all of them. All of my shots until right now. So, but all jokes aside, first game, by the way, this was not a warm-up game, or this was in fact my warm-up game. There was not a game before this. But, you know, I put myself in a position where I saw there was a lot of action happening, but I put myself in a position where I could easily dip, dodge, and duck my way out of it. I did blow up my helicopter, which I was not trying to do. But again, it's not the end of the world because everyone could see me with a helicopter, and I know vehicles spawn very close to this spot on the map. So I put myself in a position to pick up at least 2 or 3 kills. I only got 2 because I am absolute dog water in this video, apparently, and get no shots with my sniper. But that leads me to my next tip is that, so you want to make sure positioning is very, very critical, as I just showed you in this gameplay. The next thing I would mention is that you want to make sure that you're thinking for the late game. So, and what I mean by that is I am not a patient person. So I know I'm going to pick up my QQ9 and my sniper rifle. So in doing so, I want to make sure that I have a SMG and a sniper rifle equipped. So that way when I auto loot, I don't have to pick up, manually pick up any ammo. It's going to pick up all the right ammo for me. And then, yeah, I might have an SKS for a little bit, which is a good gun, by the way. Check out my video about why that actually is one of the better guns in the game. But I can actually do a lot of damage with these guns. Still win fights. I have to be tactful, but I'm getting the right ammo. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm getting the right ammo off the rip without having to manually pick stuff up. So the only time I wouldn't do that is if you know that you're going to be in a sweaty lobby, maybe in squads even. So if I see an AK-47, AK-117, or M13, yeah, I'm going to pick it up so I can shred a little bit quicker from those medium ranges. But generally speaking, in solos, I feel very confident, especially at this elo, that I can get whatever I want and aim for the late game. All right, so the next tip is to make sure you prioritize the right weapon first when you get to a loadout box. Now, what I have been prioritizing, and I think that I would highly recommend to any of you guys that are trying to level up, is get a sniper off the rip, especially in solos. Maybe not in squads. I think you would want to get an AK-47 or M13 off the rip, but in solos, I mean, you get some ratty players that play solos that just hide a lot and camp and or are farther away than other players are. So I always, when I'm playing solos, pick up a sniper off the rip. Currently, I'm rocking the SVD, which I have just fallen in love with. It might not be the most optimal gun for a battle royale, but the way I have it built is just an absolute banger. I have it suppressed with the monolithic suppressor, and it shreds, and it can just tap 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 with close to no recoil, and it's just a lot of fun. I'm personally enjoying it. I personally think it's a top 2 sniper rifle in the game right now. So for solo gameplay, I would 100% recommend picking up a sniper first. Your second gun needs to be a gun that you feel very, very confident with, either to hip fire or for those close to medium range fights. So, like I said previously, I've been rocking SMGs recently, either last couple seasons in MX9 or right now I get the QQ9, which is the gun I picked up just now. You can see that I have my M13 as my number 1 spot, and that's because in certain situations where you maybe feel like it's a sweatier lobby and that you're not going to be able to get to, I might just go ahead and get my M13 build right off the rip. That way I have very, very good close, medium, and long range fights all in one gun. But it's not necessarily the best of all worlds. It's just a very well-rounded gun. So time and a place, I would definitely recommend having those 3 options available, whether it be the AK-47 or the M13, then your favorite sniper, and then an SMG. That's what I would recommend for you guys in terms of loadout guns. And if you want to see a specific loadout for any gun in particular, let me know in the comments below, and I would be happy to make a new loadout video for you guys. I might already have one, so make sure you check out my loadout playlist. But if there are some newer guns, and I haven't done a lot of updates to those. So if there's any new ones you want to see, let me know, and I'd be happy to make them for you. All right, so now we're looking at closer to the final circles. Now, I did mention earlier that you got some ratty people that play solos. So, of course, here we are. We got a guy on the map that I saw who was just crouching in a corner. So, of course, we nade him, break his armor, get him all scared. He's going to lay down in the prone position, and I just hit fire him through the wall. Quick, easy kill. Just nothing to it. In fact, it gave me great upgrades. So, just W's all the way around. So, the next thing I would recommend is don't take fights you don't have to. And what I mean by that is, you don't have to fight everyone. If you see 2 people fighting, you can easily, especially if you have your sniper or a medium to long range weapon, pick off the low one or pick them off. You don't have to rush in there and put yourself in a position where you get possibly turned on and get a 2v1, even though they're solos. Because these bots can all of a sudden randomly hit headshots, you know? So just be mindful of that. Take smart fights, and remember the other tip about positioning and having the right guns and using them at the right times. If you're clearing a building and you see footsteps in it, you should not have your sniper rifle out. You should have your SMG out, or a shotgun, or some close range gun that is going to allow you to fry whoever you run into as they are hiding in the house. Now, if you're trying to get somewhere quick, obviously you want your lighter weapon out, such as SMG, pistol, or even just your melee weapon to run around. All right, so here I am doing exactly what I preach. We have kept our helicopter alive. I have moved it slightly away from me to ensure that people don't see exactly where I am on the map. They have a decent idea, but I have so much cover around me with the hill that I can do a lot of damage. I can see the whole next zone. I'm actually in the existing zones. I can see people fighting from far away. I'm using my sniper to check out my surroundings. I see, of course, people on the map. I did see that guy's head just peek through, so of course we're going to take him out real quick. And of course I have this completely suppressed, so no one has any idea where I am. Like I said, this is how I play solo battle royale. You have to be tactful in your approach. Of course, miss a couple shots there and then finish this guy off. But you have to be very tactful. You don't necessarily want to be putting yourself I've seen a lot of people just run straight into Nuketown in this situation, Nuketown Island, and then just go like building a building. That's a very high risk fight a lot of the time because you have no idea who's gonna be crouching in a corner hiding. So why put yourself in a position where you could, again, take high probability fights and know that you're going to be able to live through it if you're not rushing and trying to clear all these buildings? I'm searching them with my sniper, trying to find those long to medium range fights. And then as people come up around me or I see them on the map, I'm switching to my SMG and frying them or picking them off with a sniper. This is giving me more and more information as I play the game, so I can see people are dying. Again, people are pushing me, and you know it's not for them, bud. It's not, today's not your day. Have fun in the gulag. God, I wish the gulag was in this map or in this game. That'd be so much fun. But anyway, video for a different time. So yes, at this point, I see there's somebody else on my map, so you be one very tactful. This is where the jetpack comes into play. I'm just, I believe this one was a bot. Yeah, it was. But if it wasn't, I immediately put myself high in the sky. That way I could ideally remove their cursor from a very easy spot to just start shooting at me as they come around the corner, and I'm at a higher point so that it might make them miss some of their first couple shots. So all of this is going through my mind as I'm playing the game. Again, we are being tactful in our positioning. We are still clearing the area and showcasing Damascus, which will help you win more games as well. Oh, so again, like I said previously, I did not have a lot of kills going into this final zone, and I was at I think like before I got to the position. I'm already up to 11. So don't rush to get kills. They will come in the later parts of the map and or throughout the map. Don't rush it. They will come. If you build it, they will come. But moving on here, we only have 4 people left. This is where it does get a little tight, but at this point you are guaranteed a decent amount of points already to rank up. So all these tips and tricks go into play, and now you just finish strong. Now it's just skill gap. You're probably going to have real players left at this point. I want to say I still had a couple bots actually, like this was one of them, yeah. And so now it's a 1v1. Now at this point, I want to say I don't remember the gun that the player used to kill someone, but at this point, I'm taking the chance they likely don't have an RPG at this elo or rank. So I'm gonna go ahead and just fly around the map until I find him. Easy as that. So at this point, I'm still circling around and I have not found him at all. So I just decided to go ahead, land a little bit lower, and see if I can get some more of the extra level 3, 4, whatever the purple armor pack is when this one lands. And I believe this is around the time I find him again. But again, we're just being cautious, putting ourselves in good positions. As I approach the box, I'm not going to be putting my back to where all the buildings are. I put myself towards the water, which is the less likely spot for him to be. And then I do a little bit of bag management. And now we finally get to find this little guy who was hiding the whole time. But again, as you can see, like I would not be taking this much time if my body was facing towards the buildings where I knew it was a high probability. And of course, now he decides to poke out, immediately pop my my ability, do a little bit of movement, and now I'm just breaking his focus so that way I know I can fry him. So a lot of movement side by side. Movement is king in this game. If you don't know that now, then I don't know how to help you. But that is exactly how I would recommend you guys leveling up faster in Call of Duty Mobile BR. Now, if this video has helped you, please smash that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, or you're interested in finding a new game, or you just like me as a person, want to play the games that I'm playing, I would love to play with you. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I plan on posting at least weekly videos as well as shorts. So I hope you enjoy the content. And until next time, lock it in.